Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Adri. If you're new here, please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you're not, welcome back. So today we're going to jump right into this super cute Christmas light eyeshadow look that I did. This tutorial is going to be a in-depth step-by-step tutorial on the eyeshadow look alone. You will not see the base application here, but this look was so fun and creative, and I saw an inspiration picture on Instagram and figured I'd recreate my version of it, and it turned out so good. So as you can see here, we have already done our eyebrows off camera, and I am getting my base set for this look. I did use concealers to clean up underneath my eyebrows, but for the actual base I used my P.Louise paint base in the shade Blank Canvas. And as you know, that's my staple when it comes to these colorful, fun, creative looks. You always want to make sure you have an eyeshadow base, and those P.Louise eyeshadow bases are it. If you don't have them, run to go get them. Using a small angled brush, I am going in with my Morphe 25B Bronze Mocha palette. And I'm going in with this first shade here to map out the shape that I want for this look. So as you can kind of see here, I'm just kind of lightly going in first just to draw out the shape. And then I'm going in deepening that line up with that same color. And then you're going to repeat the same step on the other side. And really taking your time here because you want it to be symmetrical. Now taking a small blending brush, you're just going to go in with that same shade but gently buff that line out. You do not want that line to look harsh. Going in small circular motions across that line with that same shade really does give it a buffed look, and it does make that line not appear as harsh. And this is why I absolutely love this palette, pretty much all Morphe palettes, because they're very easy to work with. Their eyeshadows are very pigmented and very blendable. Like, you do not have to work hard to blend out those shadows. So as you can see, I already buffed out this left side and I'm working on the other side, and it's just coming along. You really want to get that worked out before we go into our next shade. Now that we have that first shade all worked out, we're going to go in with our second shade, and this is a darker color. We're going to put that right underneath that first shade that we have to really deepen up that transition. And of course, repeating those same steps on the other side. So now I am taking a larger fluffy blending brush and buffing out this lighter shade right here. This is the lightest transition shade that I've used, and packing it on above that first shade. You really want the lightest transition shade to go right underneath your brow bone, and gently take your time buffing that out. It'll really work itself out as you gently blend that in. And one thing about doing looks like this, you will kind of have to go back in with some of the previous shades to bring some of the colors back as you're blending them together. That's just a part of the process, but you'll kind of see where you may need to add a little bit more and deepening up different lines as well. So please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You do not want to miss what I have coming up next. Now going in with that same small blending brush, I am using a black shade. It's not in this particular palette, but it was from another Morphe palette. But going in again on top of that line, because you really want to build that line up. This is where we're going to cut our crease, and you want to be able to see every shade before you cut that crease. So slowly going in and blending that black out. It will be slightly lower than the last shade, so it may go on your lid a little bit more, but that's okay because we're going to clean all of that up. And do you see what I mean by these shadows are super easy to blend out? When I say Morphe products are very easy to use, beginner friendly, like I would love to have a PR package sent from Morphe and P.Louise. Like, if we could collaborate on something, please message me. I love your products. So now I'm getting ready to cut my crease. I am using the Vaseline trick. I don't know if you guys have ever seen where someone will kind of carve out the area where they're going to cut with Vaseline first, then going in with a applicator or something to remove that product. When you apply the Vaseline, it really does make it easy to remove the eyeshadow product seamlessly and just really give you a smooth cut crease before going in with your actual shimmer shade or whatever shade you're going to apply on your base. But look how clean that turned out. And again, doing the same thing on the other side, slowly applying that Vaseline and then just wiping it right off. It's like it just glides right off. I love this method. Now I'm going back in with that shade Blank Canvas to actually cut the crease and fill in the rest of my lid with that blank shade. So gently packing that on and just going along that line. You really want to make this part nice and clean, because after we do that, we're going to go in with a matte shade on top of this. So you really want to get your base set for this lower half of the lid. And if you've made it this far in the video, please don't forget to like, comment, and share. Hit that subscribe button if you have not. I am so excited about what I have coming up, so you guys do not want to miss it. I also will be linking some of my favorite beauty essentials and products that are very beginner friendly in my Amazon storefront. The link to that will also be in my bio. And don't forget to follow me on all other platforms. I am on TikTok, Instagram, as well as YouTube. So you don't want to miss it. You do not want to miss it. So now I'm taking a flat brush and packing on this shade right here on top of the area where I just carved the crease. You really want to go in and try and pack as much product as you want on this, because that's really going to set the base for you to get ready to create the light bulbs. We're getting ready to turn the lights on, ladies. I'm so excited. This was the funnest part. So once you got everything else ready, when we get to the lights, it's going to be so cool. You'll see, you'll see. So pack that lid. You want to get that matte shade all worked in. Now I'm going in with this shade right here and just packing a little bit of that color on the inner corner of my eye and kind of bringing it down a little bit as well, because this is going to just kind of brighten that inner corner up. Using my black eyeliner, I am going in to draw the wiring of the Christmas lights. Really taking my time because I really wanted this part to be really neat, because I'm going to go in and add more details. And then after that first line, I'm going to go back in to really thicken it up, because I wanted it to be thick. I didn't want it to be a thin line. So now I'm going in, drawing and mapping out my wing liner as well. This part is going to be similar to the first line. The only difference is you are not extending it out as far. And of course, I'm not going to connect it at either. So you see me going back and forth looking, because I want to make sure that this wing line is not crooked, and I want it to be as sharp and even as possible. So I'm going back and forth, just making sure I'm not missing anything and that it's properly aligned. And then I'm going to go ahead and of course do the same thing on the other side. And I kind of messed up here a little bit when I was doing this liner, bringing the liner back. With the back motion, I made it a little thicker on the outer part of the liner, and it kind of made it look like it was an angled triangular shape towards the end. So instead of trying to redo or correct it, I just left it, and we're just going to improvise. We're going to make this work for us. So here you see me adding that same triangular angled shape on the end of that liner, that first liner, just to mimic the same shape that's on the other side so that both sides can be symmetrical. And I felt like it worked. Adding it versus trying to remove it and recorrect it made the look 10 times better. Like, I feel like those imperfections, if you work with them, makes the look work. Like, I was loving this look right here before adding the lights. That look was just serving, okay? Like, I felt like that right there was just a look. So jumping right in with my first paint base is this red shade here in the shade Flamin Firecracker. It was so vibrant and really brought and stood out on top of that shade and that liner. And when I first did it, I realized I had wanted to draw the individual lines first and then add the bulbs on top of them before, instead of just going in with the bulbs and then backtracking. So I stopped and went in and did the lines first, and then we're going to go back in and do the bulbs. So for this part, I kind of just freestyled where I wanted the lines to be and just wanted to make sure that wherever I placed them in the number of lines that I did place on one side, I recreated and placed them in the exact same area on the other side. And then going back in, trying to thicken that line up again. As I went along, I saw that it could have been a little bit more thicker. So you do it based off of your desired shape and look. Now that I've done adding my individual lines, I'm going back in with Flamin Firecracker to add more bulbs on that eye. These bulbs are more circular. They're not really the shape of an actual light bulb. It was easier for me just to draw circular dots. So that's what I did. If you have a different tool or a different method to kind of get it more of that shape, go for it. Then I use this little fluffy brush to kind of pat it out and buff it out a little bit because I wanted it to be circular enough to where I add the little dot in the middle to make it illuminate. So then I'm going in with the green. I wasn't quite sure what colors or the pattern that I was going for first. So I just did 2 reds, and then I'm going to go in with the greens and just kind of go back and forth on each side just to make sure that, again, they're symmetrical. I want wherever shape I place one red, I want it to be the same place for the other. Now I'm going in with this yellow. This shade is called Golden Treasure, and just going in, repeating the same steps, going in small circular motions just to pack those colors on. And like I said before, these P.Louise paints are amazing. Like, look how vibrant those colors are on top of that. Like, they're so easy to work with. They're smooth and creamy, and I just love them. I just absolutely love them. And I went back in a few times and just refilled in some of the other light bulbs. One thing about these paints, they're buildable as well. So I just wanted some of them to be a little bit more thicker or bolder and added a little bit more of the paint base to the bulb just to define it a little bit more. Now using a white liquid liner, I am going inside each light bulb and adding a white dot. That is giving it the illuminating effect to appear as if the light is on. So just taking my time. This part was a little tough, honestly, because I wish I would have used a different tool to dip into the liner and apply it on versus the tool that came with the particular liner. It wasn't the best tool, and I tried to buff it out a little bit because it just didn't apply as well, but we just worked with it. I know for the next time I would definitely use a different tool, but it turned out so good. Look at this, guys. If you've liked what you've seen today in this video, please don't forget to like, comment, and share, and definitely hit that subscribe button so you can see more full tutorials on creative looks coming up, soft glam looks, any other kind of look. Make sure you comment below, engage, and tell me if you see anything that you want me to try and recreate.